Yeah. What is going on, YouTubers, and especially the wrestling fans? My name is Chris James, and this is Let's Talk Wrestling. Monday night, Raw, the ratings were better. They had no competition with the NBA Finals, but the writers were still lazy. Is this gonna be every week? Because I think it is. The general consensus with Raw and on Monday nights has been that SmackDown is just that much better. Is it? Yeah, it is. So this time on Let's Talk Wrestling, I'm gonna do stuff a little different. Considering it's Wednesday morning, it's 85 degrees at 10 in the morning. What's going on? Good. You too, man. Happy Father's Day. Sorry I missed you. As you can tell, here on Let's Talk Wrestling, I don't edit anything. I don't pause the video to talk to people. I don't have funny gimmicks or wacky special effects or anything like that. It's just me and you, the viewer, the camera pointed at me, and I talk with a shaky camera because I don't want to hold a selfie stick. Big guy like me can't have a selfie stick in his hand in the Bronx, NYC. But let's get into Monday Night Raw. What I said was I was try something different. Usually I watch the show, I do my review after or in the morning. This time, I'm gonna do my review and I'm gonna be staring at this phone right here that has the WWE YouTube page open. So I can go match by match, segment by segment. Raw was okay. Wasn't the best Raw ever, wasn't the worst Raw in a long time. Again, I'm sorry for the shaky camera, but that's what happens. The Hardy Boys, Luke Gallows and Anderson, I'm gonna jump over that match and then I'm gonna get back to the segment they had with the club in the back on the Raw Fallout. But Monday Night Raw starts with Roman Reigns challenging the winner of the Great Balls of Fire match between Samoa Joe, or as he said, some guy named Joe, and Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns is out of his mind, and the WWE allows him to be that way. I know a lot of fans are mad. I know they're like, why does he just jump in and get a title shot? Because he's Roman Reigns, and that's what Vince wants. What Vince wants, Vince gonna get. Samoa Joe comes out, confronts Roman Reigns, tells him straight up, you ain't the biggest dog in this yard. And not those words, but that sets up the main event, or what I thought was going to be the main event. Samoa Joe against Roman Reigns live on Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to skip over the smaller segments like Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil against the tag team champions Shamaro. I want to jump into this club situation because they lost to the Hardy Boys after a very hard-fought match, after a match that they kind of seemed like they were going to win, and the club loses. But afterwards on Raw Fallout, the club said something that rings true in my ears. They said they deserve better. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson deserve better. They are absolutely right. What I think this is leading towards, and I'll get into another superstar who's kind of cementing my theory on this happening, is later on in this show. But Gallows and Anderson almost look like they're gonna leave Raw to go to SmackDown, whose division, tag team division, is on fire. And I think this is all starting now because it's June, we're getting into the summer. SummerSlam, we might have some cross-promotional matches, setting up Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown. I don't think they bring back the bragging rights pay-per-view, but we've all heard Kurt Angle is rumored to be wrestling Triple H, and then Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. We know Daniel Bryan had an interview, or two interviews this week, one with Rolling Stone and the other with Sports Illustrated, where he definitely blatantly said, and I quote, I am working on a wrestling return. I have been training for a wrestling return. End quote. So what can that mean? Can that mean that Survivor Series might be more important than it's been in a long time because of the Raw versus SmackDown thing? Gallows and Anderson deserve better. A lot of people on the Raw roster deserve better. We had a backstage segment where Kurt Angle says he will get to the bottom and he will crack the case of who's been attacking Enzo and Big Cass the past few weeks on Monday Night Raw. That ended up being the main event segment. Joe against Roman Reigns wasn't the last match. It wasn't even on... No, it just wasn't. Seth Rollins came out to promote himself. Big surprise there. So he cuts a promo about how he bought in, he did this, he did that, and the fans gave him a second chance, and now Seth Rollins is on the cover of WWE 2K18. Don't be anyone else, or whatever the catchphrase is. Is it good for Seth? Sure, but out comes Bray Wyatt. This Bray Wyatt-Seth Rollins feud just cements Bray Wyatt as being a gatekeeper in the WWE. If you notice, and you go back 3 years ago, he feuded with Dean Ambrose, he feuded with Roman Reigns, and now he's feuding with Seth Rollins. It is exactly the booking on Monday Night Raw that everyone has a problem with, and more importantly, the booking of Bray Wyatt. WWE needs to get their head out of their arses, to my mates across the pond, and start promoting Bray Wyatt as the dominant heel demon face of fear that he says he is, instead of him losing feud after feud. Wyatt comes out, the lights are off, and in an amazing turn of events, when the lights go back on, Seth Rollins leaps from the top rope, gives a high cross body to Bray Wyatt, and it was delightful. Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, looking forward to that match at Great Balls of Fire. Elias Sampson came out to do his solo act, and it was bad. Before he even he's such a good heel. Don't get me wrong, I approve of Elias Sampson and his character. I think it's great. He gets so much heat just by being there. He really didn't even have to say anything Monday night. But out comes Finn Balor. Finn Balor upstages Elias Sampson. Finn Balor has a match with Bo Dallas. Finn Balor wins a hard-fought match. Very fast tempo, very hard hitting. Bo Dallas looked great. He's growing a beard, which has people talking about Bo Dallas joining his brother Bray and maybe making a new Wyatt family. Now, I want to touch on Bo Dallas for a second, because in a backstage segment, The Miz approached Bo Dallas and Joe Henning, Curtis Axel, Michael McGillicuddy, and said that he wants them to be his entourage, that he can propel them to superstar status. Would they take him up on his offer? I don't know. We'll find out. The Miz. Next segment, The Miz calls out his wife Maurice, has a big box. There's two bears in the ring again. This bear is over, and if you guys cheer for him and continue to cheer for him every Monday night, the bear will come back every Monday night. Enough with the fucking bear, excuse my French. The Miz apologizes to Maurice about busting up that grandfather clock when he thought Dean Ambrose was going to be in the box, but it wasn't. It was the grandfather clock, so we had the grandfather clock remade. Dean Ambrose comes out, pushes the Miz. Miz falls over the grandfather clock breaks. Maurice slaps the Miz, runs out on him once again. Don't know where this storyline is going. I really don't care anymore. I want to see another Intercontinental Champion contender. Except Dean Ambrose. Anyone but Dean at this point. The two bears that I mentioned, the aforementioned bears, they were Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. They jump Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are now a stable. Could stables be coming back to the WWE? I don't know. But on to what I thought was going to be the main event. In what I thought was going to be the main event, and what should have been the main event, Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe had a spectacular match. Hard-hitting, fast tempo. Roman Reigns held his own after cutting an amazing heel promo for a babyface in the beginning of the show. In the end, it looked like Roman Reigns was about to win, about to defeat the Destroyer, and I think that crowd would have booed him to hell. But out comes an ambulance, and like I predicted earlier in the night to my wife, Braun Strowman makes his return. I'm not finished with you! Braun Strowman distracts Roman Reigns. Samoa Joe hooks in that coquina clutch, And now Roman Reigns knows that it's not just a guy named Joe. He is Samoa Joe, the Destroyer, Brock Lesnar, your next opponent at Great Balls of Fire. So Joe beats Reigns. Out comes Strowman to a huge pop. Excuse me. Strowman choke slams Reigns, reverse choke slam because he threw him down on his face. And at Great Balls of Fire, it will be an ambulance match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. I'm looking forward to it. I hope they don't give the win to Reigns. Strowman has to go over in this match. Have Reigns go over in the last match, which should be a cage or a Hell in a Cell or something like that. I'm happy Strowman's back. And man, the dude had minor shoulder surgery. Should have been out 6 months, and he's been out for maybe eight or 9 weeks. Braun Strowman truly is Superman. The main event segment turned out to be who has been attacking ENZO and Big CASS. The Revival was brought out to the ring. The Big Show was brought out to the ring. The Big Show cut a great promo on how Big CASS and ENZO were soft for accusing him. The Revival ended up taking off because it wasn't them. So who was it? Corey Graves gets up from the announcer's desk and says he has evidence. Goes to the Titantron. And on the big screen we see Big CASS subsequently laying himself out. So what happened was Big CASS was attacking himself. No one ever attacked ENZO, or no one ever attacked Big CASS. It was him all along. He admits to ENZO that ENZO's a little loudmouth punk, which we all know. And Big CASS was the one attacking ENZO. Wow. Big CASS hits ENZO with a big boot. Talk some more crap. What an amazing promo from Big CASS. Finally, the breakup happened. I knew they would never win the Raw Tag Team titles or the Tag Team titles or the SmackDown Tag Team titles. They didn't even win the NXT Tag Team titles, and they were the most over team in that promotion. Big CASS is now a heel or tweener because they were cheering him. Not a lot of people like ENZO and his big mouth. Monday Night Raw comes to a close. We still don't know what Kurt Angle's big secret is or what could possibly get him fired. What we do know is that Raw was once again mediocre. I give it a B-. Some matches were good. That Titus Apollo storyline, the Tozawa storyline with Neville, the King of the Cruiserweights, that gets continued on 205 Live. But let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. What do you guys think about Strowman returning after 8 weeks after surgery? The dude is a fucking superhero. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman in an ambulance match. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you guys think about the Hardys running over Gallows and Anderson after a seemingly competitive match until the finish. What about Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt? Tell me in the comments, guys. I respond to every comment, every time. It's just me. I like talking wrestling. I do these videos so we can talk wrestling. Let me know what you guys thought about Joe choking out Roman Reigns. So close to Roman Reigns making that challenge at SummerSlam. Does he have a dog in that fight? I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought about Big CASS breaking up with ENZO and kicking the smack talker Skywalker right in the face and telling him that he's a loudmouth little twerp and that he's holding CASS back and that CASS will now reach his full potential, that he's dumped ENZO. Remember, here on Let's Talk Wrestling, there are no gimmicks needed. I don't need fancy editing or special effects or pauses and cutaways and pictures. I just need me, the camera, and you, the viewer, to talk wrestling with me. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click that bell twice so you get all the alerts when these videos go live. You'll be the first ones to see them. Share this video on your Twitter, your Facebook. Share the link on Instagram. All of them. All of them. Put me on Pinterest even. Tell people about Chris James and Let's Talk Wrestling. Matter of fact, tell a friend to tell a friend about Let's Talk Wrestling. That was your Monday Night Raw review and reaction. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm out of here, getting ready to do that SmackDown review. Peace.